This is the Network Community Ministries Incorporated Influence Outreach Program, Rory Jenkins, New Media Marketing, Full Sail University. The introductions for the outreach programs are to contact the largest churches in Richardson, Texas area. The goals: to hire 10 volunteers a week through the outreach program. Benefits: the incentive for the fans, the volunteers. Community: what's in it for the future of network. Promotion: plan to advertise in local church publications, blogs, and websites. The main reason why I came up with Network Community Ministries Incorporated outreach program was because the network right now only has 12 paid staff members on staff. The entire operation is conducted by volunteers on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. Most of the volunteers are Christians at Barnabas Presbyterian Church in Richardson, Texas. The funding of the service is through donations from local churches and community civic groups, so it's inevitable that the starting point to attract volunteers to work at Network would be through the local churches first in Richardson, Texas. The duties for implementation outreach program, Alice May, she would contact the local churches in the Richardson area and the churches around Dallas, Texas. The plan would be to contact the administrations at all of these churches and have an advertising piece uploaded for their weekly announcements, which would be given and presented during the Sunday 10:45 p.m. for every worship service at these churches. She could talk with other churches and adapt a necessary contact planning solution for nonprofit church marketing organization. I found a toll-free number it's an outreach church media number here. It's a toll-free number that I've shown you on this slide, and you can implement an advertising piece there with video, print, and imagery for the promotion. These would be the duties for volunteers 1, 2, and 3 also that's working with the outreach program. The first one would be to develop and implement the social media strategy, coordinating with volunteers right now at Network to ensure its effectiveness and align the strategy with the organization's programs right now. To manage the presence in social network sites, including Facebook, Twitter, and other similar community sites, posting on relevant blogs and seeding content into the social applications as needed on a daily basis. This is one of the duties for Volunteer 1. This is the duties for Volunteer 2 and their goals. Volunteer 2 also would monitor blog's website and a website called charitynavigator.org, which you can monitor the traffic and the activity and your cause of charity that you're trying to provide. The plan also, I would make a charitable template creation like a newsletter for constant contact and personalize it to each and every church that you're trying to attract the volunteers for. Also, they have a radio station here in Dallas called KHVN, Heaven 97. And Joe Bagby is one of the announcers. And 3 times a year, they donate spots for churches and announcements and the cause and a charity. I would try to get on that list and put Network on the radio station also to solicit volunteers that way also. This is the duty for Volunteer 3 outreach program. With instruction from the CEO to become an advocate of deeper missions in social media space, engaging information on volunteering and answering questions where appropriate. Regularly feedback, insights gained from people, giving out people applications on the spot to become volunteers. That way you get the information right away, like a survey. Walk around the community giving out volunteer survey applications to know if you can engage in volunteers that way. And also monitor trends in social media tools and trends in the applications that are that you are implementationing. So this would be the duties for the volunteer three. Another influencer is Thomas C. Gibbons, the pastor of St. Barnabas Presbyterian Church. He is a pastor there for some time now. He now sits on the chairman of the board for Network, and he could be a great influence to try to seek out more pastors in the area and more pastors in Dallas. And they could be volunteers also and get their congregation or people in their congregation to become volunteers. He knows a lot of people and he's been here for, I think, about 15 to 20 years. So he's a great influence to outreach to other people in church to incorporate them as volunteers as well. Thomas Gibbons can inform the members in the announcement at the St. Barnabas Presbyterian Church during their worship service also and mention about the volunteer shortage at Network. The plan would be to work also with the youth department to try to solicit more younger volunteers to work at Network also. He is a guest sometimes, like I think about twice a month at several churches in the Richardson and Dallas area. He is part owner of a website called Snub Hub, which you can purchase tickets to sporting and entertainment events in Dallas and the surrounding area. He would be a great influence for incorporating the Mavericks tickets as an incentive for the volunteers who solicit or get to bring the most volunteers at Network through the weekly and monthly and yearly basis. It could be a this would be an incentive for the volunteers who came up with the most volunteers for the week. I thought about this with Mr. Gibbons when since he owns Snub Hub, he could donate season pass or home game tickets for the Mavericks basketball team. This would give a great incentive and a motivation for the influencers and the volunteers to incorporate more volunteers for Network. This would be a great incentive to have since everybody in Dallas really loves the Mavericks basketball team.